It's Wednesday, August 6, 2025, and we've got some major weather to talk about today, so let's dive right into it. Starting off with a potentially significant severe weather outbreak up here in the northern plains tomorrow. This is Thursday, August 7th. We've got a slight risk up here for Bismarck, certain portions of South Dakota and Montana, and we're going to see these storms work up into Canada as well. We are talking about a 2 out of 5 slight risk of severe weather here. Kind of feels like deja vu because we've seen this exact risk I don't know how many times this summer. But one thing that's a little bit different about this one, and it's not like we've been lacking instability in recent events, but man, the Cape levels are going to be really out the wazoo here. We're talking about up to 5,000 joules per kilogram of Cape with these storms tomorrow. That is thunderstorm fuel that's going to be enough to allow these updrafts to shoot up into the atmosphere and cause very, very, very large hail, some potentially damaging winds, and maybe even a couple of tornadoes. So Bismarck, get ready. Another big hailstorm is potentially on the way tomorrow. The main event's going to unfold Thursday afternoon and into the evening when storms are expected to fire up and rapidly become severe. We're talking about hailstones larger than 2 or 3 inches. I wouldn't be surprised to see widespread baseball-sized hail with this kind of deal. And this is going to be another one of those situations where we start off with discrete supercells that bring about big hail and potential tornadoes, and then this is going to turn into a big line of storms with damaging winds and a continued big hail threat all the way over to Fargo. And then that kind of sets the stage for our big severe weather event this week, which is going to be Friday, where we have an enhanced risk of severe weather for Grand Forks, Fargo, down into northeastern portions of South Dakota. This is a 3 out of 5 enhanced risk for a lot of the upper Midwest here. We've got about 500,000 people under the gun for significant severe weather, and once again, the Cape is going to be out the wazoo. And this one's even more extreme. I mean, we've got widespread values here. Hold on, let me pull out the picker. Widespread values well over 5,000 joules per kilogram. Some models are suggesting that we're going to see pockets of 6,000 joules per kilogram of Cape in front of these storms that are popping up here as we go into the day on Friday. And if you don't know what that means, it's very complicated, but it doesn't have to be, right? Just think about this as thunderstorm fuel. Whenever we have 1,500 joules per kilogram of Cape, that's enough to cause severe thunderstorms. 2,000, 2,500 joules per kilogram of Cape. Those values sometimes lead to our biggest tornado outbreaks. 6,000 joules per kilogram is enough storm fuel to really cause some intense storms. Now, that doesn't mean that we're going to have a bigger tornado outbreak or anything like that. It just means that the fuel is going to be there and there's going to be an abundance of it. So there's no doubt in my mind that we're going to see some major severe weather, a severe weather outbreak on Friday. So make sure you're ready for that. This looks like a day that we're going to be live streaming, and once again, we've got a bunch of people here, a little over 500,000 people getting ready for some big time severe weather. And tornadoes, while not the main threat, look like they are going to be a real possibility with this system. So make sure you are not scared, but rather prepared. All right, switching over to flooding concerns, another deja vu moment here where we've got more to talk about with flooding potentially in the southeast. We got another slight risk of excessive rainfall from Raleigh all the way down to Savannah, Georgia. It's just going to happen again today, guys. We've got precipitable water values really high. We're going to have some gully washers out there, some big time downpours. The highest threat for flash flooding is going to be right now through this morning and into the afternoon. That's when the heaviest downpours are going to occur. And notice how not everybody gets hit here. It's hit or miss, but if you end up under the wrong downpour today, you could definitely see potentially some life-threatening flash flooding today, because while we are not expected to see a huge amount of rainfall, we're not seeing like these 6, 7, 8 inches of rain projected here from the QPF forecast from the Weather Prediction Center. We're seeing a couple pockets of maybe 2, 3, maybe 4 inches of rain. If you are one of these places that ends up seeing 3 or 4 inches of rain today in a very short period of time, and you've already seen 3 or 4, maybe 5 inches of rain over the past couple of days, like a lot of you have, this could lead to flooding very quickly. So make sure if you're in a flood-prone area, you are ready for that. And we're about to dive much deeper into that, but first, let's shout out today's sponsor. Delete Me, your personal data is yours again. So a few months ago, I found out that there are companies called data brokers that collect and sell your personal information online. Did you know about this? I'm talking your home address, phone number, family details, and all that stuff. I mean, this is stuff that should be private, y'all. Apparently, anybody can just go buy this stuff. And that's where today's sponsor, Delete Me, comes in. And honestly, I can't say enough good things about them. I personally use Delete Me, and so does the whole team. And what they do is their privacy experts go out and look for your personal data out there on the internet, and then they remove it. When I got my first report back, I was blown away. They found my information on like 30 different sites that I'd never even heard of, which is plumb wild. And Delete Me keeps monitoring these sites year round, so whenever your data eventually inevitably pops back up out there, they immediately remove it. And the best part is, once you set it up, you don't have to think about it anymore. It's done. They're taking care of it. It's honestly given me peace of mind, and I think it's going to give you peace of mind as well, so I really highly recommend you checking it out. If y'all want to protect your privacy too, get 20% off Delete Me when you go to joindeleteme.com/Ryan Hall and use the code Ryan Hall. That's joindeleteme.com/Ryan Hall. Use the code Ryan Hall. You're going to get 20% off. There's a link in the top of the description. I want to thank Delete Me so much for sponsoring this video. We really appreciate them. And yeah, I think you guys are going to love it. Now, let's get back into the video. All right, switching over to the tropics, we've got an area of interest down here south and west of Mexico City, which is up to 90%. So this is almost certainly going to be a tropical storm. Maybe by the time this video goes up, we've got another tropical system over here in the Pacific Ocean that's currently a tropical storm. This is Henriette with winds around 52 miles per hour. This is going to continue to go off to the north and west. It's going to miss Hawaii, and it's really not going to be a threat to land at all. Speaking of not a threat to land, we've got tropical storm Dexter out here in the Atlantic as well. That's going to continue to go off to the north and east and not impact anybody. But all eyes right now are on these two areas right here. We've got an area of interest off the southeast coast of the United States with a 40% probability of formation over the next 7 days. And we've got a 60% probability of a tropical disturbance forming out here in the main development region over the next 7 days as well. So if we take a look at the upper level pattern here, you can see some of these storms over here in the Pacific that get going. You can even see that area of interest off the east coast of the United States turns into something really interesting here, potentially as early as this weekend. We could have a pretty big storm out here. It doesn't look like it's going to be a threat to land right now, but still, that's something to watch. But notice how all of these waves that we've got coming off of Africa are really starting to look more and more organized. Now, the last video that we made, I think this wave right here kind of turned into a massive hurricane that hit South Carolina. Of course, you know, these models are going to continue to change every day, but the thing that I am noticing is that we are definitely entering the main development region, hyperactive part of the season, where we're going to have multiple instances where we have these waves of energy coming off of Africa and producing storms. Okay, there I see three potential problems coming off of Africa here just over the next week and a half or so. None of them are kind of looking like a major threat right now. It's stuff that we need to watch, and that's the reason why we're going to continue to make videos here as we get more data. What stands out to me here is the signal that this sends. All of these systems that are potentially coming together here in the main development region really highlight the fact that we are entering peak season for tropical activity. So if you live along the coast, I don't care if you're in the Gulf, I don't care if you're in Florida, if you're in the Southeast, all the way up into the Mid-Atlantic, Northeast, United States, you guys need to be getting your hurricane plan ready. It looks like this is going to be a pretty active year, at least for a period of time. Maybe it's only 1 month where we have a bunch of storms. It's definitely possible that we see some big time activity here. Get ready for it. Don't be scared, be prepared. And then looking ahead to the national pattern, we're going to have that heat dome that's currently building in the southwest that we've been talking about moving to the east next week, and we're going to have another period of extreme heat in the east, especially the northeast, as we go through the 8 to 14 day time period. The Climate Prediction Center is already issuing a moderate risk of extreme heat for the northeast, centered around Wednesday, August 13th, specifically for potentially life-threatening temperatures once again. So I'm not going to go on about this too much here. It's just another reminder things are going to be hot, and they're going to continue to be hot just like they have been. We've got a little bit of a break happening right now in the east. It's coming back though, so get ready for that. All right, that's pretty much all the weather talk I have for you today. We're going to have some big time thunderstorms to cover. There's the potential that we go live on Friday, so make sure you subscribe, turn notifications on. Also, check out our sponsor. We are super appreciative of our sponsor. The link's at the top of the description down there. Delete Me is a really useful service. I highly recommend it. And of course, make sure you are subscribing to the YALLBOT channel. It's on 24/7, relaying warnings even when I'm not on or anybody else. Make sure you go follow that channel. It gets better every day. And that's it. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.